What is happening with crypto market? Dogecoin is almost at all-time highs. Is this actually a sell signal? A lot of people are bearish. A lot of people are closing loans. Funding rates on the marketplace is actually crazy. And the question you should be asking yourself, are you actually late? Or why you did not make much money in comparison to all the people who are screaming on crypto Twitter and showing P&Ls 500k, 1 million, 2 million, 5 million, 10 millions. Today, we will discuss exactly this. We will go through the current market setup, we will go through the news and things that are happening on the marketplace currently. We will check out what is happening with BTC, what I think is the next rotation, overall sizable rotation. I have a very secret piece of alpha to share. And we will also find out where do you need to position your capital currently to capitalize heavily in the upcoming couple of months. Maybe this is the end of the pump. Maybe this was just the test pump and nothing is happening. We are going to $40,000 from here. It's hard to believe this currently. Maybe this is the case. Today, we will figure this out exactly. Like this video, press the like button, guys, if you appreciate the content. I gave you several coins in the last several days. A list of them, smallest of them did couple X's. Best of them did more than 50 X's. Like the video, it helps the channel. I know I'm the only channel that predicted the market movements correctly in the last several months. Dot to dot, I predicted each and every meme coin meta out there, and probably you don't want to like because you want to leave all the alpha for yourself. But please, I'm doing my part of the job right here. Press the like button and let's start. And obviously we're kicking off with the chart of BTC. We just had a huge dip, a huge correction to $58,000. That happened just a couple hours ago, which if you think about that, which is crazy. At the same time, just recently we tapped $90,000. Personally, I do think we should be going lower. I'm seeing the target $86,000, so we should be either reversing from here or we should be going to as low as the range around $78,000 and essentially retrace the full move right here, which would be just crazy. And the main reason for my target of $78,000 per BTC is because we have this huge gap on futures, right? And usually, I'm just saying, market tends to close them over time. And market tends to remove these gaps on the process of essentially the market life cycle, right? And we're seeing BTC moving higher. We're seeing BTC dominance even moving higher as well. So very interesting that through this dip, we definitely saw a lot of people on the marketplace selling the altcoins and buying back into the BTC, right? This was the decision that essentially was made in the crypto market. Or maybe certain players on the marketplace, they essentially decided to use some of the stable coins and put them back into BTC, which result in Bitcoin dominance surging back up. From my view here, BTC dominance is essentially forming a nice corrective channel thus far. It's very hard to say whether or not it will essentially be printing a new high from here. I know that in one of the previous videos I was actually saying that I do actually see this as something possible, as something that might be happening on the marketplace out there. But will it change any situation for us? I do think it's a bit early to be positioned into altcoins, although if you really would want to get these bottom valuations, from one point of view, you're a bit too late. Secondly, yeah, it's kind of nice. You will just have to wait a bit more, but alts should be sending once the potential of memes will get exhausted and once Ethereum will essentially be surging up higher. And certain alts like Sui, for example, which I've been talking through the whole of 2024 and even the end of 2023, is already at the cycle all-time high at this stage. And currently at this stage is just following the chart of BTC. It's crazy if we are printing head and shoulders here and if we just go down and retrace the whole movement. Following our gap on CME it's actually something that might be happening out there. And I think you should be prepared for this scenario because I'm not buying the euphoria on the marketplace currently. Maybe this is the issue because one more time, the dumbest people in the marketplace are the ones making money currently. They are seeing something pumping, they're just buying into immediately. And maybe like they sell after 2, 3, 4x and they just rinse and repeat. One more time, there will be people who know way less about crypto market than you. They will be coming into the market later than you. They were not watching the content on a daily basis. They were not following the market on a daily basis. They will be making more money than you. 100% this will be happening. If not, this is happening already. But essentially the narrative that we have in connection with BTC dominance is Bitcoin ecosystem. And this is based angels. Something I called at $4,000 in my private Discord. Something I called at 4,000 sats in my private Discord, and something I called at 6,000 sats essentially on YouTube channel. So you should be up at like 2x at this stage if you are from YouTube channel, and you should be up 3x if you are from private Discord out there, right? And I'm just holding this thing. The current market cap is at $4.7 million. This is your retardio on mother chain, on BTC. And we can see crazy surge up in between different collections. And we can see that one of the top, essentially the best collection out there that is actually moving the most on the list of the top 10 collections for runes is actually Based Angels. This is crazy. This is crazy if you would want to see that. Can you see it? 56 out of top 10, this one is moving the most. This is crazy. And it has this interesting support from retard and things like that. And I'm just showing you these numbers because we're still quite early. I'm just showing you these numbers to prove that BTC ecosystem will be going crazy and should be going crazy moving further as well, along with essentially meme coins, as meme coin craze is happening currently. But I honestly expect for Ethereum to catch a bit. Why? Why I'm expecting Ethereum to catch a bit? The main reason for this is because Ethereum was historically always following BTC. Ethereum is lagging behind Solana heavily currently. Solana already is above the local high of this cycle. So Solana is at like 220 to 130 bucks at this stage. Ethereum is not at $4,000, the high that Ethereum set back in March, right? So it still has at least 700 bucks to go to 4K. At the same time, you do not have to neglect the Ethereum ETF. Solana does not have the ETF. Ethereum has ETF. And very interesting thing is that all of your on-chain assets, they are paired to Ethereum out there. Even on Blast, even on Base, all of the on-chain assets are paired to Ethereum, which is crazy to think in the first place. And here we're seeing total Ethereum spot ETF inflows in November. We're definitely seeing some green at this stage, right? And we're definitely seeing some increase in terms of the volumes. Like it's actually a crazy increase in terms of the volume. So sooner or later, stock market would understand that upside on BTC is actually quite limited. And the next thing would be Ethereum. And we'll have a crazy Ethereum run. Like I almost feel like the current suppression of Ethereum is like this exercise that you need to hold your coins through. You need not to sell yourself out of the positions that you're holding currently. This is a test you need to pass through in order to be able to capitalize on the gains that will be happening. And I do believe that one of the most performing assets once Ethereum would be surging back higher would be coin, because base season is not even started yet. It's crazy. It's not even started. We are ending accumulation for some of the assets out there. It's not even started. And obviously ending on Blast. Ending on Blast, once base season will be closer to the ending of the whole thing, it will be surging up as well. Ending on Blast, I think, is one of the very, very small amount of charts out there, of really blue chip projects out there. And that is really at the bottom. It's crazy. Just, if you're holding this thing, just hold. You might actually like, currently is a nice point to add as well. We are at the bottoms of the accumulation range and following essentially this cup and handle, this cup pattern, we are exactly at the bottoms. This thing will be crazy with Ethereum craziness happening as well, because there is a very, very low amount of really blue chip Ethereum meme coins. Once the upside on range of them will essentially be exhausted, these things will be catching and bid as well. Something I actually wanted to discuss separately is crypto funding rate. So this morning, I was actually checking out the funding rate, and I even created several posts on my X regarding this situation as well. So the first post I actually created at $89,000 per one Bitcoin out there. This is the first post that I essentially shared 5 hours ago. Probably nothing. What does it mean? Market did not believe the pump. Market entered late and tries to catch up with leverage. Market would likely get wrecked. So the thing that I'm showing here is essentially funding rates at that time. And we can see that the funding for BTC on Binance was 0.04, right? It was at the tops. It was 5 hours ago. It was when we were still essentially breaking through $90,000. We corrected. And what happened after? We can check out what is the situation with the funding currently. The funding doubled on BTC, which tells us that most likely we actually will be seeing the correction to increase, to move forward, to continue, mainly because it's actually profitable at this stage to short. It's profitable to dump. For market makers out there, it's very, very profitable to short and dump BTC at this stage. They have a bunch of money that they can be liquidated. And that's why I'm saying like this drop to 78K, if we will be touching this area, I think that the touch to this area will actually be swift. People will re-enter the loans. I think like best traders out there, they already have limit orders to loan BTC to set up at these levels. Like once we drop here, I don't think that this dip will be present on the marketplace for long, right? I think it will get scooped up heavily, nicely, fast, quickly, and we will continue from there. But following the funding rate still, like it kind of feels like we should continue. I've seen funding rates on bread being 0.13 this morning. Like it's crazy. 0.13. It's kind of bearish for the asset as well, because like assets should be moving up based on the spot volumes. When they're moving up just based on leverage, it's not that great out there. With bread, I think the situation, the fact is moving up on leverage is because people understand that the supply is controlled. People understand that random people have numerous amounts of these coins, millions of bread coins out there which they paid nothing for, and that's why no one actually wants to buy it on spot, but people are at least willing to gamble on leverage with this coin out there, right? So with BTC situation was a bit different, because when we were surging up one more time, here at the tops, leverage, the funding rate for BTC and Binance was 0.04, which is kind of high, but it's not that much, right? And on the correction, the funding actually doubled, which is crazy, which definitely tells us that we should be going a bit lower. This like flash, this funding thing, it should get closer to the normal levels, somewhere around 0.01, maybe 0.02, 0.03, but not 0.07, like it's crazy. Although back in March and April, we had weeks where we had positive leverage out there. But also following fear and greed index for Bitcoin, I think we're at 87 currently, which is extreme greed out there. Crazy if you would also think about that. But at the same time, like a lot of people are bearish. A lot of people are actually closing the loans, believing that like this thing is going nowhere. I just think that we should have a larger leverage flush out there to make sure that all these random players will get evaporated from the market. And I explained what's happening exactly in my tweet as well. So people were missing on BTC and on crypto. They were not paying attention, and right now when everything is pumping, they want to catch up, and they're catching up with leverage. That's why we have such a great leverage in the marketplace currently. I think like this is just the first type of movement where people are just coming back, and at the same time they still have money, because this money they were not yet taken from them through leverage, right? And that's why like we have a tons of leverage currently. And once this flash, like this would be actually the first flash, because people that were longing so far, they were actually right. But once this flash will be happened, once this flash will be over, I do believe we will have a smaller amount of leverage, with leverage slowly increasing us, going higher, higher and higher. And essentially at certain stages we will also be seeing leverage flashes out there. But the main thing you have to understand is that people came in late, they were not paying attention, and right now they're trying to catch up with leverage, and they will get wrecked. Exactly something that I shared on my Twitter. They are getting wrecked already. Huge amounts of leverage was essentially taken out and liquidated through this dump. And I do think if we're going to 78k, if we will actually be closing this CME gap, like it would be like crazy amount of leverage, because people that entered longs here, like this is the crazy amount of people out there, right? Especially on alts, because some alts they did not move much, and with this drop of BTC they actually might be dropping a bit more as well, right? So I think it's kind of interesting that actually closing your alts longs, even if you were not in huge profits at this stage, might be a huge piece of alpha, because this way you would actually be able to save your capital. And if we will be here, this will be just the crazy entry point for us, because if we will touch here, we're 100% reversing from these levels, going higher, and 100% Ethereum will be picking up from these levels as well, pushing alts up like crazy, 100%, which means that this level, if we are here BTC wise, would be a very, very interesting level for leverage longing alts out there. So I will keep you updated on this situation and on this information. Make sure to follow and subscribe. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to this channel so I can update you on these entries for the altcoins moving further. So I do think that most upside essentially is in Ethereum memes currently at this stage. And I think that Binance is kind of giving us a very, very huge tip on that matter. I'm not sure if you're following, but recently Binance listed 2 more meme coins on itself, which is the first one is ACT and the second one is Peanut. Right, ACT is some AI tool, AI thing, ACT, and Peanut is essentially the squirrel that got killed by US authorities when raiding the house of one of the US citizens out there. And Peanut pretty much just was a pet, right? But the situation that interests us, if you would essentially check out the things that are happening with Binance, last 5+ memes that they actually listed on spot on Binance are on Solana. This is something that essentially should tell you something. This is like, you're not hearing this anywhere, right? I think one meme that they listed on ETH was Neuro, that they heavily cabled themselves. They probably like scooped up a bunch of supply at $10 million. And by the way, like, my personal thoughts is kind of becoming a bit bearish in Binance, because like the reason they are listing memes is because things are not going well. 100%, things are not going well. Like, they want these volumes, and like maybe it's the change of strategy to bring in some revenue, but man, them listing memes, because they also listed from $20 million market cap, right? So it was not like at highs. Like, things are not going well for Binance 100% at this stage. But we are not focusing at these things, right? So they listed so meme coins thus far, which kind of tells us that they were not listing any Ethereum meme coins out there. That we should definitely focus on Ethereum meme coins. Ethereum is yet to catch up to Sol price action. Binance was focused on Sol. Looking at Sol memes currently, yeah, you might be able to catch up maybe 1, 2 to 3 memes out there they will be listing, and Sol probably will continue to do quite well, but Ethereum should be catching up. Ethereum has the ETF. I do think that Ethereum should start the outperformance after the correction on BTC. We should have the base season, we should have the Plast season, we should have the Ethereum season out there as well. And as mentioned, upside on most of the Solana memes is exhausted already, and there is still a bunch of upside on Ethereum meme. I can share this in the chart. So we have similar charts on most of the memes right there. This is the cup, this is the handle, this is the breakoutage. They consolidate and they essentially go higher, they go down, they consolidate, and they set new highs, right? So this is the practical like chart for most of the memes out there. This is the dumpage from essentially March, April, and May. Right, this is the area where a bunch of liquidity was created, and in connection to End on Blast, this is $20 million area, for example. This is dumpage through the summer, and accumulation happened here. Here we're breaking out around this level. We get rejected. We are forming our handle. We have some breakoutage and consolidation here, and then we're essentially breaking out. Right. We might have some consolidation around all-time highs, with some people essentially wanting to exit. Then we set a new high. Usually we are coming back to the levels of the previous all-time high. We consolidate slightly below it, right? We consolidate, and then we move higher. If you check any meme coins on Solana that pumped already, they have exactly the same chart. Ethereum meme coins wise. Some things like Bobo, for example. Bobo currently is somewhere around this stage. So you can assess the upside, right? Somewhere at this stage. Memes on base. I would say on average, they're somewhere around here. And on Blast is here currently, right? So you can assess the upside and assess what type of the movement is actually left. Yeah, I think Boba is actually not here, is somewhere lower. Should be somewhere right here, right? So here are your things. Like the first one, the highest one is Ethereum. The second one, the middle one is base meme coins and base asset. The last one is Blast, specifically End on Blast, right? At the bottoms, blue chip meme coin at the bottoms currently. You can easily understand that the upside for this thing to go higher is lower than the upside for this thing to go higher, just because of the fact that this thing on base is lower. And the upside for End on Blast is the largest one. However, Bobo will probably be moving the first. Things on base will be moving the second. End on Blast will be moving the last. So you will have to wait. You will have to wait out there, and we can kind of assess that this is coin out there. Well, yeah, we can kind of compare that this is a chart of coin. Although coin, I think, should be going way higher just because of the narrative. I'm seeing it's getting like picked up in different charts. I'm seeing like people start to talk about it. They start to understand the narrative. They start to accumulate. It's like it's happening, guys. It's happening. These things in the marketplace, they usually take time. I tend to front run things all the time, and my largest mistake is just not giving the market enough time to understand. It's not giving enough time for the market to go in so I can use the market as my exit liquidity. Like, I'm often exiting too early because I think that people are as fast as me as well. But now we have to wait. We have to wait. Largest exit liquidity also always is coming with delay out there, right? Coin will be doing fucking well as End on Blast. So this is the situation. And situation with the most of Solana memes out there is that they are somewhere here. they're somewhere either at the tops or they are already at the previous all-time highs, right? So the upside, since here through the into the tops of Solana memes, it's not that great currently. It's maybe on some of the larger coins out there. I would like to do a comparison with the chart of WIF, for example. For some reason it's not popping up for me. Let's do some black magic out there. So yeah, like just look at the similarities. I exactly printed the same chart to you currently. You can see exactly the same chart is happening on WIF. Actually on WIF there is a bit more upside in comparison to some place on Sol that went up already, like Giga, like essentially Sigma as well, and some others. Exactly the same chart. So we had the pumpage, we had our liquidity area. I would say that this area is here. We have our dumpage plus accumulation. We have our resistance at this level. We have our handle. We are breaking out through the handle. We should be breaking out through all-time high with some consolidations and then essentially going higher. However, we are already here, right? And this chart-wise, Bobo is somewhere here. Base memes are somewhere here. Engine Blast is here at the bottoms, exactly. Right, so these are your analytics that you should be using, because let's say WIF is reaching like new all-time highs at like $6 right here, right? WIF here is currently right here, which is 2x since all-time high, right? Bobo, in comparison to Bobo, for example, Bobo is somewhere here currently, right? So it's 2.7x, but Bobo will be doing much more just because of the fact that the market cap is smaller. Base memes are somewhere here, right? It's 3x, and Engine Blast is at absolute bottom of this accumulation range, and that's why it's the best risk reward, but you have the opportunity cost in connection with the time it would actually have to spend holding the asset in comparison to some other things maybe pumping on the marketplace. That's why the best strategy is kind of to understand where the assets are in the cycle and just play this thing following the strategy. It's pretty simple. You just look at the charts. You don't even have to care about the asset. Well, it's certainly great if things have a crazy narrative out there. Something like Coin, for example. I do believe Coin should be a $500 million market cap coin, like maybe in spring already, at least, right? And the reason it will be able to reach this type of levels is because of the crazy narrative. You might also think of Engine Blast as the largest meme on base, and also the better play to Pepe out there, which also should be doing quite well, because FOMO for Pepe should be kicking in at some time as well. So Engine Blast, for example, in this comparison is 4x from the bottom. So it has the largest upside, but time-wise, it will need the most time to reach to these levels. So you're kind of losing the opportunity cost of your holding comparison to this, but eventually the amount of access you will be doing is larger. And at the same time, you also have some risks in the assets connected to this type of picture, because maybe you would buy into some rock right here. Maybe like this asset that you would think will be pumping up from here will actually go down for some reason out there, right? So there are definitely certain risks connected with this thing, and in order to assess this risk, you should check out the community, you should check out the holders, you can check out what is happening with the asset, you should check out the narrative and assess the speculative value for the asset. All of these things I'm kind of doing like for you and then sharing in the process as well on this channel. So if you don't want to miss this alpha, like and subscribe if you want to get even more alpha, because like I'm doing some plays on a daily basis, and I'm sharing a lot of them mostly on Discord, right? So I'm not sharing them anywhere else. Join our private Discord. You will have link to Patreon under under each and every video. You can subscribe to Patreon, $200 a month. You will have the access to private Discord out there as well. So yeah, we'll see what will be happening with BTC. You essentially heard my projection out there. We either reverse from 86, but man, I don't like this sea of red right here. Positive funding means that there is way more long demand on the marketplace than there is short demand, right? And this funding, like we never seen this since March. A very, very short amounts of time where we had fundings at this level. The main reason for this funding is because so many people faded crypto in general. So many people faded, and that's why like they are sitting on leverage currently trying to catch up, because they faded, they thought it's scam, they thought it's going to zero. Well, a lot of people essentially sold, and that's why like it's crazy what essentially is happening out there. So yeah, this is my overview for today. Hope it makes sense, the situation market wise, altcoin wise, and Memecoin wise. I do believe we are due for a bit more pain, but I do believe that Memecoins and BTC Echo will continue to do well. BTC Echo, following this chart again, following this beautiful chart that I'm talking about this chart to you since like what, probably like start of September, end of August, right? It's crazy. With the first pump which of selling memes out there, BTC Echo is probably somewhere here currently. So I would say even somewhere here. So it's not at the bottom of the handle. It's already recovering, right? So it will probably have this move sooner than Ethereum meme coins out there will have their move. Although, like, you have to understand that when the assets are essentially moving on this chart, other assets, they're not staying at the same time as well. So it's not like you will be able to take all the profits on BTC Echo and then you'll be able to position in Endian Blast at the bottoms, right? Most likely, once this move will be playing out and this move will already be at the bottoms, Endian Blast will also be higher. So your entry point won't be that great, right? So your goal is essentially whether or not you will be able to outperform the market in efficiency, not understanding like this chart, not understanding things that are happening, and whether or not you'll be able to multiply your funds higher and better in comparison to market being efficient in the price of the assets that are present on the marketplace out there. This is a very, very simple type of thing. We are continuing to dump, proving my theory. We'll see what will be happening moving further. You have all the overview from my end. I do believe this is everything you need to know about this market at this stage. Let me know, maybe you would like to have some type of content that's a bit more simple, like give you like just a list of files, or some list of memes, so you don't have to think, but you kind of have the list of memes from me. I might actually be focusing on alts, so let me know if you would like to hear a list of alts to learn or get into at the bottoms of these corrections once we essentially will be at the bottom. Thank you very much for watching this video. Stay healthy and rich, and I will be seeing you tomorrow. Bye bye.